Today, we discuss about some basic definitions of graph theory. First of all, the definition of a graph. A graph G is a pair V, E, where V is a non-empty set and E is a subset of P2 of V. The elements of V are the vertices or points or nodes, and those of E are called the edges or lines. For example, in this graph, there are four vertices which are joined by the lines or edges. Next, the definition of a self-loop. An edge having some vertex as both its initial and terminal vertex is called a self-loop. For example, in this graph, E3 start and end with the same vertex V3. Therefore, it is said to be a self-loop. Next, the definition of an isolated vertex. A vertex having no incident edge is called an isolated vertex. That is, the isolated vertices are the vertices with a 0 degree. Next, the definition of a pendant vertex. A vertex of degree 1 is called a pendant vertex or one-end vertex. Next, the definition of a simple graph. A graph that has neither self-loop nor parallel edges is called a simple graph. For example, in this graph, it has neither self-loop nor parallel edges. Therefore, this graph is said to be a simple graph. Next, the definition of a null graph. A graph without any edge is called a null graph. That is, a graph whose edge set is empty is called a null graph. Next, the definition of a subgraph. In a graph G is equal to V, E, where V is a non-empty set and E is a subset of P2 of E. There may be a subset. W is a subset of E and F is a subset of E, which are such that H is equal to W, F is a subgraph of G. For example, in this graph, G has 5 vertices and 6 edges. H has 4 vertices and 4 edges. Therefore, H is a subgraph of G. Next, the definition of a complete graph. A simple graph in which each pair of distinct vertices is joined by an edge is called a complete graph. For example, in this graph, every pair of vertices are joined. Therefore, this graph is said to be a complete graph. Next, the definition of a bipartite graph. Bipartite graph is one whose vertex set can be partitioned into two subsets x and y. Show that each edge has one end in x and one end in y. Such a partition x, y is called the bipartition of the graph. For example, in this graph, there are two sets. Every edge has a one end in x and one end in y. Therefore, this graph is said to be a bipartite graph. Next, the definition is complete bipartite graph. A complete bipartite graph is a simple bipartite graph with x, y, in which each vertex of x is joined to each vertex of y. If x is equal to m and y is equal to n, such a graph is generated by k of m, n. For example, in this graph, each vertex in x are joined with each vertex in y. Therefore, this graph is said to be a complete bipartite graph. Next, the definition of a regular graph. A graph in which all the vertices are of equal degree is called a regular graph. For example, we take a complete graph K4. Every pair of vertices are joined. Every vertices has a degree 3, equal degree 3. Therefore, this graph is said to be a regular graph. Thank you.